Welcome to the wrestling show that's not just for wrestling fans. This is Smark and Friends on lovewrestling.ca. My name is Zach and I'll be your host. When we started this show, we were pretty much only doing in-person interviews. I would normally welcome people in the art scene of Montreal, people with creative projects and other stuff that they wanted to promote, and share a little out-of-context wrestling with them. My cat has jumped in, making things interesting early on in this recording. It was only really during the pandemic in which we started doing online and reaching out to people across the globe and recording remotely, as it were. But there's really no substitute for in-person interviews, and that's what I was lucky enough to be able to do this week. I spoke to a Montreal icon of the pro wrestling scene, veteran hero at the IWS, and recently won the IWS Canadian Championship ticket. Are you really going to hover over the mic the whole time? You really are. Okay, let's get this, whatever this is, out of your ear. So he is an icon of the pro wrestling scene here in Montreal. As I said, IWS Canadian Champion, the hardcore hero, Green Phantom. I realized I checked him out on Instagram, and recently he released a new beer at Brutopia, which is one of the celebrated beers in the heart of Montreal. He released Get With The Green Citrus Ale, and I wanted to speak with him all about that and was able to get a chat with him at Brutopia itself over a nice cold beverage of Get With The Green Citrus Ale. Before we get to that talk, of course, I got to thank the good people who make good things happen here at Love Wrestling. That's, of course, our partners at MANSCAPED.com. I would pick up the Lawnmower 4.0. It's to my side here by the computer, but as again, I've got a cat in my arms who's making this ad read a little more interesting than it would normally be. Support for Love Wrestling is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision engineering tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, 4.0. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer that we want to give to you today. You're going to get 20% off your order, be it the Lawnmower 4.0 or the Ball Reviver, whatever you want to get from Manscaped. 20% off plus free shipping all across the globe by using our promo code LOVEWRESTLING at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Back after this message.
Yo! We're the Boros Twins.
I'm the world's sweetest man, Gentleman Jervis.
This is God's gift to wrestling, Michael Richard Blaze.
This is Chelsea Green.
And we love wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
Oh, we're going to see a superplex powerbomb!
Just coming up to the building, Colton Kelly. Colton, I am sorry to interrupt your cigarette, my friend.
If they weren't the MVPs of pandemic wrestling, then I honestly don't know who are.
Of course, we did want to give everybody a bit of a rundown on what you can expect here on Love Wrestling through 2021 and beyond.
This crowd is going bananas! I'm Spencer Love, and this is Love Wrestling.
And we are back, recording on location at Brutopia on Crescent Street, downtown Montreal. I'm speaking with the IWS Canadian Champion, the hardcore hero, Green Phantom. How are you, friend?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Great and green, as always.
It is great to have you. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. And thank you for getting us a spot here at Brutopia because, man, it's been a while since I've sat down at a bar with somebody.
This is my second home, and as you are about to taste my brand new beer, Green Phantom's Get With The Green Ale, have a sip in front of the fans and see, this is a candid camera moment. What do you think?
That is tasty.
I paid him to say that or I'd break his neck.
But I got paid. That's the thing that counts here. No, that is quite tasty.
I'm really proud of it. I was worried that I would just be biased and have to like it because it has my name all over it. But it actually, I'm really proud of it. It even reflects me very well. It has that like citrus thing that could be a lime in it, and it really works well for me.
Get With The Green Citrus Ale. I want to pick your brain all about that. First, though, I do want to talk to you a little bit about wrestling, because you got some interesting dates coming up, of course. Next month, IWS UnFnSanctioned 2.0. Bit of a homecoming for AEW Tag Team 2.0, who is showing up. What's going on at the event?
Well, it's still in the early plannings, but 2.0 is back in town with Matt and Jeff. Good to see those guys again. Really proud of their outlandish success in AEW. And I'll be defending my Canadian title. I don't know my opponent yet. Like I said, it's still in the planning phases. But this is UnFnSanctioned, which is usually the biggest wrestling show in Canada every year, you know? So it's an exciting time. 1 month away, just about.
I mean, you know, if I'm going to read the writing on the walls, I feel like business is not done with you and Matt Falco.
You know, there's a whole bunch of people who I have some business with, I'm sure, in the future. Matt Falco, if only because we've had some banger matches, and people like to see two big tree trunks like ourselves bash each other. People really dig that. But also the former champion, Kevin Blanchard, technically I didn't pin him for this belt. He lost it in that three-way, so I feel that he's going to want a shot back at this as well. And that might happen on UnFnSanctioned. I just don't know yet. We'll see.
That triple threat was a hell of a contest, but like post-match was really where the magic happened because you got like a rock star's ovation. You were walking through the crowd. Must have been a hell of a moment.
Yeah, you know, it always warms my heart. In Montreal at IWS specifically, the crowd really gives me a great welcome. They're really into me. I would say objectively, I have the loudest response when I come out. And so when I won that belt, there was a lot of people that were really, really happy, including me. And they just filled that place with love, and it felt amazing.
Naturally. Very cool. But before UnFnSanctioned 2.0 rolls around, you got another date coming up in Chicago. ICW No Holds Barred on the 26th. What's going on there, friend?
I enter the chains. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with ICW No Holds Barred. It's a pretty hardcore fed. And this particular event, the ring ropes are replaced with chains. It's pretty brutal. I know I'm going to probably have a few marks on my body once I leave that place, win or lose, taking on this guy named Akira. It's great to be able to go to the States and wrestle because here it's all locked down, right?
Yeah.
So I did it. I've been lucky over this lockdown. I did Jersey a couple weeks ago, and now able to go to Chicago. I'm really excited. So. Well,
I mean, you're not a stranger to marks on your body. You've wrestled Nick Gage. You've wrestled Matt Tremont. You've done the hardcore circuit, Fred.
Yeah. It's funny how you pronounce Tremont. You sound very very Canadian.
That was very Quebecois of me right there.
Matt Tremont.
There, thank you. Yes, I definitely deserve that one.
I wrestled him a few times, and that's where I was down in New Jersey wrestling for his company there, H2O. Great little setup they got going there, and Tremont's a great dude, man. He's a walking legend. So is Nick Gage, and you mentioned him. Yeah,
absolutely. Now, again, I came to Brutopia to talk to you about beer. I reached out to you first to see if you were free to do this interview, and then I was like, I'll reach out to Brutopia, see if we can get a seat there. But you actually said you spoke for Brutopia, so like you have a seat at this table, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, this is my second home. You know, I grew up working in this bar. I still host a trivia night on Monday nights. I'm the quiz master. They call me Alex Quebec. And, I ask the questions, and as soon as you think you have the answers, I change the questions. You know what I'm saying? That's a R.I.P. Roddy Piper right there.
Oh man, I almost wore my Roddy shirt today too. Nice. Was going through my drawers. Oh man, so yeah, this is a very tasty beer. Get with the green citrus ale. Have you been like brewing your own beers for some time?
No, I'm more of a drinker of the beers. But me and some people here at Brutopia, we were brainstorming, and we always thought that that I would be a good sponsor, if you will, for a beer, a good face of a beer. But we're waiting for the right kind. You just can't have any old beer with the Green Phantom name on it. So we're waiting for a recipe. So my man Keith, who works here, he's a master brewer. He put together this recipe. It had to have some green element to it, right? So it had to have some lime. What else green can go in beer besides actually dyeing it green? But the thing is, you can't put too much lime in beer because then it gets really bitter, right? And also you don't want a Bud Light lime, one of those lame ass drinks. So I wanted a full-bodied, crisp beer that is accessible, and this goes down smooth, and again, it's a citrus ale, so it has that green kind of element. And come this week, it'll be releasing cans, so you can take your very own home with a fabulous little can there. I'm really stoked for that.
Is that going to be distributed outside of Brutopia?
Yeah, it should be at various locations around Montreal, and of course you can buy it here at Brutopia and take it out as well, which is a new cool thing.
Fantastic. Of course, like, this is a Montreal-based show that we're recording today, but it's listened to and watched across the globe on the old internet. So for the non-local viewers, what's a beer that you would compare Get With The Green to?
Oh, it's unique on its own. You know, it's a little bit cloudy, so it has a bit of a white beer kind of texture to it, but it's still very drinkable. So it has you know, it's very unique in itself. I really have to say, I couldn't even put a label on it. You know, it's so unique and it's its own beer. You know.
Yeah.
I'll ask you, what would you compare it to?
Oh man, yeah, now I feel bad. Like, I put you on the spot now. I'm not ready to address those very same questions. I mean, it's very fresh. Very, I like what you said. It's accessible. Like, it's not a heavy. It's nice and light.
Yeah.
Very different from how you hit in the ring, though.
Definitely. But it's still a 5% alcohol. So if you're looking to feel it, it might give you a little kick. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So aside from it, from like the citrus, pursuing the lime element of the flavor profile, what makes this Green Phantom's drink?
Well, it's mine. You know, it's I've owned it, and when you see the can, you'll see how it really suits it as well. The green and yellow colors of the can really describe that beer, and really describe me. You know, green and gold is what goes so well together. You know what I mean? So.
Is this something maybe we can expect to see served at IWS events?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. As soon as the government changes their laws, it seems like they change every week. But right now we're scheduled at every IWS event going forward. Green Phantom's Get With The Green Ale will be served. Yeah.
Fantastic.
It should be fantastic. I'm stoked.
My next question for you, I didn't research this one because I learned this shortly before we hit record. You've got some music on Spotify now, don't you?
I do, yeah. Wherever you stream your music, check out Get With The Green by Green Phantom and Friends, and I'm really proud of this track. I've been coming up with the same music for 20 years. And it was a Slayer song, Bitter Peace, and it really formed my character, made partly by my entrance. It made me who I am. But I had this idea for a while to produce and record my own track, and I did it with this guy Westmo, Westbound Virus. His beats are so infectious, and we came up with this track, and it's freaking dope, man. I rap on the chorus. And you also listen to that stuff. It's great.
I mean, you must have came out to it at the last event?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It was my first time coming out to that music in my 20 plus years of always the same song. So it was a bit disorientating at first, you know, because you have this whole routine of how you come into the ring. And some people might say my entrance is like the best part of my matches. It's all downhill from there.
Nonsense.
So this whole big part of my routine has now been changed somewhat, but I think for the better. You know, it's fabulous.
I mean, it's inspired a good win-loss record for you, considering on your first match you win the Canadian Championship.
Yeah, so far I'm undefeated with this new song. It's great.
Beautiful. So last thing I wanted to ask you about, I want to put you on the spot. This is a bit of a game. You got the green, Get With The Green Citrus Ale inspired by the Green Phantom. I have a couple names of your peers at the IWS. So I wanted to see if I can put you on the spot and maybe come up with a flavor profile and come up with new beers named after some of your peers.
It's going to be dangerous.
We like danger on this podcast. First one, the IWS champion himself, Speedball Mike Bailey.
He doesn't drink, so it would be, for him, it would be like a vodka soda, you know, I don't know, like a White Claw. That's a Mike Bailey beer. But we're gonna make a beer, maybe a really, really light beer, you know, a very friendly beer, not too bubbly because he's a very quiet man, you know, a very peaceful beer, if you will.
How about the IWS Women's Champion, Veda Scott?
Jeez, what are these questions? You know, she doesn't talk much. I give her a dark stout because how friendly she is to everyone. Not very.
Jeremy Prophet and Carl Jepson, Black Québécois.
Oh, I should have saved the stout for them. You know, again, definitely Prophet is not the Black Dynamite. Definitely not a drinker. But you know, if I was going to inspire something here at Brutopia, I guess it would be a nut brown beer because they're a bit nutty, and of course they're brown, and they got some good taste to them. That's for sure.
Marvelous. 3 more names for you. First, the last 3. Melanie Havoc.
Melanie Havoc. Oh, jeez. Stick with beer, eh? A nice little raspberry beer that we might have here at Brutopia. I think that might survive. It's strong yet sweet.
Professor H. Shane Hawk.
Oh, he would take the ginger beer, no doubt.
The Ginger World Order. And last but not least, this is a person who designed some Green Phantom merchandise, Animal Bob Anger.
Oh, he would take like a car bomb or something crazy, something that would just splash everywhere and explode. I could see, you know, dropping a shot of whiskey in in a nice stout or something, having that explode and chugging it. That's how I see Bob Anger's beer.
Marvelous. Green Phantom, I thank you very much for your time. But, of course, before I let you go, please let the audience know where to follow you on social media and any other projects. I mean, you got a lot of spinning plates, so if something you want to promote.
That was so quick. It was one of the quickest podcasts ever.
I like to keep things fun-sized here.
All right. You can always follow me on Instagram, Green Phantom 514. Twitter, I'm not so good at, but I do the Instagram. And check it on YouTube. And, of course, Spotify. Everything. Get with the green, baby. Green Phantom 514. Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Thank you.
Enjoy that beer.
Oh, I absolutely will, and continue to do so.
Get with the green, y'all. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something, everyone. If you go over to MANSCAPED.com, right this moment in time, right now, you can save 20% off of your next purchase at Manscaped.com. But how am I going to save 20%, I hear you ask? Well, let the wordsmith tell you. Because if you enter promo code Love Wrestling, that's right, Love Wrestling. You can see it down here. You can see it scrolling across the screen. Enter promo code Love Wrestling and save 20% off of anything you find on that website. And also, you'll get free shipping. How crazy is that? 20% off. You can use it to buy the Lawnmower 4.0. And at the end of the day, your balls are going to thank you because, like the headline says, at Manscaped.com, we save balls. And it's just too sweet.
That was my conversation with Green Phantom, the IWS Canadian Champion, the hardcore hero, and most recently brewer of his very own beverage, Get With The Green Citrus Ale, over at Brutopia on Crescent Street in the heart of downtown Montreal. Once again, sat and drank a pint of beer over the recording of that podcast, and once we were wrapped up, I hung around and got a little bit of work done at the bar and had another couple pints of that very, very tasty citrus ale. Please, again, if you're in the Montreal area, head on over to Crescent Street, head on over to Brutopia, really great bar, and enjoy a pint of Get With The Green yourself. Hope you enjoyed our conversation with Green Phantom, and of course IWS Hardcore is bringing AEW Tag Team 2.0, bit of a homecoming because this was their old stomping ground, next month at IWS UnFnSanctioned 2. So yeah, please stop on by. If you like what you heard on this podcast today, please head over to ratethispodcast.com/love-wrestling-ca. You're not going to be rating just Smark and Friends. You're going to be rating all the content being built very proudly here at Love Wrestling. That includes Friend and Foe, Spencer Love interviews, reaction shows like Power Out and NXT. Really great programming. We're very proud of it, and we hope you enjoy listening and watching as well. If you want to follow me on social media, please follow the show at Smark and Friends on Twitter. You can follow me, myself, at SmarkMouth on Twitter and Smark.mouth on Instagram. Someone nabbed up SmarkMouth on Instagram, and I've never forgiven them. They don't even use that account. I want that account. I want that handle. So yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Oh, almost forgot. You can also follow Love Wrestling CA on all major social media platforms. That includes Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Thanks so much for catching my conversation with Green Phantom over a tasty pint of Get With The Green Citrus Ale. We're going to be back next week. Till then, friends.